Hi there, Ken Bogeman here with SG Advantage, and today we are going to talk about how to approve or deny work order requests that come in from your subcontractors and crews. All right, so what can happen during a storm is crews that are out on site or out checking properties may discover that there's situations or conditions on site that would necessitate service. And so instead of just going to work, we need for those crews to send in a request for a work order. So what will happen is from their mobile devices, or if they've got a computer in the truck or whatever, they will request a work order. And that's what's going to be essentially happening in this blue section over here. So the first row, waiting requests, these are requests that have come in and are awaiting approval. Approved requests are then the amount of requests that have come in that have been approved. Denied requests are requests that have come in, but the managers have denied them. And then approved denials, this is where a supervisor or the owner or whoever's ultimately in charge of the storm should take a look at these denials because you want to make sure that as the general contractor, you're not restricting your contractor's ability to work unnecessarily. So for liability's sake, we want to have two sets of eyeballs anytime a work order request is denied. That's what the approved denials section is for. So from another device here, I'm going to go ahead and request a couple work orders as if I was a subcontractor. Something that is good to talk about at this point is you'll notice right up here this says, please note this will refresh every 15 seconds. What that's for is so you don't have to continually be hitting your refresh button. Every 15 seconds, the dashboard here will refresh. So what we've seen is we've got now two waiting requests here. So if we click View, we'll pop in and we'll see that there's the property is fast food restaurant, and the test subcontractor has requested a lot clear 0 to 4 inches and a walk clear 0 to 4 inches. And so then if we come over here and click this little binoculars, we can pop this open and we can see that the notes here, about 1 inch of accumulation need to clear. Okay, so that seems to make some sense to me. So, but let's say for example that on this particular property, there's a 1 inch trigger on the walks, but it's a 2 inch trigger on the lots. So what we might do is come down to this one here for the walks and say, okay, well 1 inch is good on the walks. We're going to approve this request right here. And then what's happening now is the system is automatically sending that work order over to the contractor. And if we come back to the dashboard, we'll see that this is now 8, whereas before it was 7, so that indicating that work order has been created. We also see that there's one approved request here, and there's still one waiting. So we're going to come in, we're going to look at this. What we're going to do is you can either, if you don't want to look at the binoculars here, you can just click on the awaiting approval. This will pop up with you'd either like to approve the request or you'd like to deny it. In this case, we're going to deny it. And then you're going to need to type in a reason for that denial. So you're going to say 2 inch trigger on lots, not at trigger yet. So you say 2 inch trigger on lots, trigger depth not met yet, request another work order when trigger depth has been met. So that note, when we click Save Status Change, what's going to happen is it's going to disappear from our waiting requests, and it's going to go into denied requests right here. And so when we pop this open, we can see that the status is denied. So you can make that a little bigger for everybody. And if we come over here and we look, we can see that the denial reason was that it's a 2 inch trigger on the lots. So then what can happen at this point is another set of eyeballs can come in, and when that makes sense, they can click the yep, okay, well I can approve that. Say agree with 2 inch assessment. Approve or deny request. So now what happens is now there's two different sets of eyeballs that have popped on that denial. That's why that's there. So now if we come back over here to the dashboard, we can now see that that is in the approved denials category, whereas the other one is now in the approved request. So that is how we handle work order requests. Okay, well that should handle that. So hopefully that answered all your questions. If not, feel free to reach out to us. We're always available and always happy to help. Thanks so much. Have a great day.